Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Mansing. In our top story, government offices and the banks and post offices closed yesterday in recognition of Independence Day, also referred to as 4th of July or July 4th. It's a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the adoption of the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776. Now here in the territory on St. John, it was a time to celebrate festival as events wrapped up. Here's more. St. John's 2017 Festival Parade drew many to Cruz Bay to enjoy the sights and sounds. With the theme of 2017's festival, the present and past in ways never foreseen, many popular annual troops made an appearance, such as the Sebastian Majorettes, Shaka Zulu Troop, and the Traditional Indians. The VI Transfer Centennial was the theme for two groups of the Majorettes, the St. Thomas Majorettes and the Sebastian Majorettes, as well as the Eagles Troop, whose entry Centennial Fireworks was presented in collaboration with the VI Transfer Centennial Commission. 32-year-old commercial and advertising photographer from St. John, Cooper Penn, was the 2017 parade marshal, as well as Carnival royalty made an appearance, which included the 2017 St. John Festival Queen, Gemini Niles, and Princess Yamilet Diaz-Reyes. Festival events included Juve. Revelers in St. John turned the streets into a big paint party during Juve morning festivities on Tuesday. Many others danced to the early morning pre-party before the parade. Other events included the food fair, boat races, and of course the opening of Festival Village, O'Connorville, where many could find many local dishes, as well as enjoy the music from major artists. Then of course, the final fireworks over the Cruz Bay Harbor. Now, Governor Kenneth Mapp had proclaimed last week Freedom Week in the U.S. Virgin Islands in accordance with Act number 80002. Emancipation July 3rd, Emancipation Day, has long been recognized as a holiday in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Freedom Week has been proclaimed from June 26 to July 3rd, and it encompasses two significant dates in the territory's history. July 2nd, 1848, when a call went out to enslaved Africans to come to Fort Frederick in the town of Frederiksted, and July 3rd, 1848, when Governor Peter van Schulten, the governor of the Danish West Indies, officially announced that all unfree in the Danish West Indies are from today free. Now, St. Croix also had a celebration as well. Residents enjoyed the Independence Day holiday in Frederiksted with some float-friendly activities. Here are some of the highlights. St. Croix residents filled Rainbow Beach and the Fort Frederick Beach for a beach bash called Floatopia, in which everyone brought various floating devices to coast along the beach shores while enjoying local music. Even with some passing showers, the celebration did not stop. The day was filled with floats, vendors, food, dancing, and music. In addition, there was a mini jump up where live bands, vendors, and games took over the streets. And to close off the holiday, the community came out to watch an exciting fireworks display. Well, the territory observed the two holidays this week, as we shared, that celebrated the liberation of oppressed people. This week, Emancipation Day, when the enslaved in the Danish West Indies revolted and won their freedom, as well as Independence Day. Now, a conversation was had to point out that the disenfranchisement of the Virgin Islands and the different political status Virgin Islanders can pursue in determining its own autonomy. Here's more from Stephanie Brown.
On Emancipation Day in the territory, the political status of independence was explored, and coming out of America's Independence Day celebration, local academia and community activists probe into the international law status of a free relationship of the Virgin Islands with the United States.
When I talk about what I think is good for us as Virgin Islanders, I would argue to say that possibly free association, that middle ground option, which has not been well explored.
On June 11th of 2017, Puerto Rico held a referendum on the island's future political status, which included the options of becoming a state or choosing independence or free association.
The people of Puerto Rico came together to make a decision about their status. Free association really, again, wasn't one that maybe many people selected because it's unknown.
Another option on Puerto Rico's referendum was the choice of maintaining the territory's current status.
Right now, our status, people say, oh well, one of the choices could be just remaining as is. That's not a choice. It's actually just us not doing anything.
A free associated state is a state or territory partly controlled but not a possession of a stronger sovereign nation. But Ms. Whitaker, an attorney and community activist, feels that getting the public informed on political status options is by far the most important step.
This journey in this time and another status referendum really around the education, a public awareness campaign that I would even say could last well over a year to 2 years, where we get information into the schools, where we have a lot of programming. We could even look through various seminars and things like that.
Neb Kara, also known as Carl Christopher, shares similar opinions to Attorney Whitaker.
I would recommend and I would choose free association. And the reason I would choose free association is because with the free association, it gives us an opportunity to negotiate certain rights, privileges.
Whitaker and Kara attest that before the territory can make decisions on political status, investments in educating residents on past political historical events and its current ramifications on the Virgin Islands are pinnacle at this time.
Most of us from 1917, which would include our great-grandparents, grandparents, and the descendants thereof, we've been indoctrinated with being just U.S. citizens, so we don't know any better. That's what we've learned. And so, as a unique people, I think that we need an education process. I think that free association will give us time, and then if we choose to, collectively, the majority, then we will go to statehood or independence.
Professor and activist Dr. Chenzira Davis Kahina believes that the territory's political status should be actively pursued and decided on by individuals and families that have vested roots.
When it comes to independence, independence requires a very different mindset and a very strong communitarian effort and a strong reconnection to citizenship and pride. So free association provides a framework, and we have to actually form the right model that will be beneficial for the people of the Virgin Islands.
For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Well, in other news, Senate hopeful Janelle Saru on Saturday filed with the Supreme Court for a writ of mandamus that will compel the Superior Court to have the District Elections Board finally certify the special elections results, which would allow her to take the vacant Senate seat. The VI Supreme Court on Monday turned down Saru's request for emergency relief Monday, saying she will have to wait for the Superior Court to act on her bid to force the Board of Elections to certify her victory in the April 8th special election. The VI Superior Court has taken up the issue late last month after Suru filed a petition seeking emergency relief and an immediate certification of the special elections results, which St. Thomas St. John Board of Elections members have not acted on based on the belief that Suru's Senate seat had two occupants, her and former Senator-elect Kevin Rodriguez. The court did agree with Suru's arguments that the District Elections Board was duty-bound to certify the special results. Still, justices added that Suru has to wait for the Superior Court to act because it alone has the power to compel the Elections Board to act. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Well, as we shared on June 20th, a public meeting was held by a St. Thomas-based retirees group with a titling board that included Supervisor of Elections Carolyn Fox, VI Attorney General Claude Walker, and Legislative Counsel, Legal Counsel Yvonne Tharps, members of the Government Retirees for Fairness, or GRUF. They have launched a ballot initiative as they are working to collect thousands of signatures from registered voters territory-wide. The aim is to help save the territory's public pension system, and they're hoping to put that on the general election ballot in 2018. Just an update here. Director Lawrence Olive of the Bureau of Motor Vehicles would like to inform the motoring public that on Thursday, July 13, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles territory-wide will be launching the non-real identification cards, the disabled persons identification cards, and the non-real ID driver's license. Olive would like to inform the motoring public that the Bureau territory-wide also will be closed on July 25th and 26th in order for the employees to attend a mandatory customer service and fraud training. We will resume, they say, regular business hours at all locations on July 27th. Well, via telephone, wireless, and long-distance customers will notice a change in the federal universal service charge, and that was effective July 1st as a result of action taken by the Federal Communications Commission that affects carriers nationwide. The federal universal service charge, the surcharge factor, recovers the costs associated with the carrier's contributions to the Federal Universal Fund program. The government-mandated program is designed to help keep service rates affordable for all customers in all areas of the United States. So effective July 1st, 2017, the change was from 17.4% to 17.1%. So for residential telephone customers and the single line business subscribers, the charge will decrease from $1.31 to $1.18. Multi-line telephone business subscribers will also notice a change in their bill from $1.85 to $1.99 per line. PBX line rates are also changing from $2.44 to $2.57 per line. Well, in the middle of bright green hills and bright blue skies, North Korea launched what could be a turbulent time in its global relations. This missile is new. It has two stages. The first, liquid-fueled, which the country has used before, but it was topped by an unknown second stage, which would help make it an intercontinental ballistic missile. That's enough of a threat to make it the only agenda item on the UN Security Council's emergency meeting Wednesday. The U.S. requested the meeting as part of a two-pronged approach, this one diplomatic, the other showing military force. The U.S. and South Korea teamed up for ballistic missile drills after the North Korean missile launch. President Trump spent much of his day flying to Europe, where he will meet with Russian President Putin and the Chinese president. Well, Volvo builds its reputation on driver safety as we keep an eye on the economy there. But the Chinese-owned company is making headlines this week for going all in on electric cars. Volvo is hitting the brakes on gas-only engines, announcing that all of its cars built from 2019 forward will have some form of electric motor. Between 2019 and 2021, the company plans to launch 5 fully electric cars. The rest of the fleet will either be plug-in hybrids or vehicles that combine a battery with a small gas engine. The change was likely influenced by Chinese auto company Geely, which bought Volvo in 2010. China, the world's second largest economy and a nation plagued by air pollution, wants 5 million electric cars on its road by 2020. Taking a look at the numbers there, we can see the Dow down 1 and NASDAQ and S&P up. Coming up on News 2, news from around the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico. That's coming up next. Welcome back. In our Caribbean Roundup, the island of St. Lucia is closely monitoring a tropical disturbance in the Atlantic. St. Lucia's Director of Meteorological Services reminds residents to stay informed and be prepared. Here's more.
We have to continue monitoring the weather. But as far as it affecting the Caribbean, it may, yes, according to what the models are showing, that it will develop and it will track west northwest or northwest. But we expect it to pass, a fair distance away from St. Lucia. We don't really expect it, according to the information that we have right now, we don't expect it to really affect St. Lucia significantly, except in that the sea conditions when it is crossing the longitude of St. Lucia. The latest forecast for normal to slightly above normal season. What we have noticed is that the tropical waves that are crossing the islands now, they are more vigorous. They contain much more rain than those of last year. So based on that, we expect rainfall to be a little more than was forecast before the season.
Well, Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rosselló signed a law yesterday, July 4th, to ban coal ash from the U.S. territory's landfills. He does plan, however, to export the toxic byproduct of coal combustion after converting it to construction material. This move comes after much pressure from the environmentalists in the territory's southern region who have been protesting coal ash since 2014. Coal ash is produced in coal-fired power plants. The byproduct contains dangerous contaminants like mercury, cadmium, and arsenic. Per the EPA, if not disposed of properly, coal ash can leach into waterways, drinking water, and the air. Then ultimately it can harm human bodies. Tensions in Puerto Rico grew toward the end of 2016 when activists staged large-scale protests in Puerto Rico where Applied Energy Systems, the energy company transporting the coal ash, would dump the substance. One protest is still ongoing, reports the Associated Press, and they're keeping trucks carrying coal ash from reaching a landfill in Peñuelas. The territory has used coal ash in the past to build roads, parking lots, and mall. While staying right there in Puerto Rico, an investigation is presently underway after a small plane crashed in waters near Puerto Rico. 4 people have been hospitalized. The plane surprisingly crashed minutes after it took off Tuesday afternoon from the San Juan airport. Puerto Rico's Secretary of State, Luis Rivera Marin, says the pilot is presently in serious condition. Turning our attention back here at home, DPNR continues the investigation after 9 people aboard a sinking sailboat in Christiansted Harbor were rescued Sunday by the Department of Planning and Natural Resources, the VI Police Department Marines Enforcement Unit, and a passing boater. Police say the owner of the sailboat was taking his vessel from Christiansted Harbor to the yacht club under sail with 8 passengers on board. He attempted to sail through a marked cut within the eastern reef. The police said the sailor misgauged his approach to the marked cut and attempted to sail away from the reef. Due to high winds, the boat ended on the reef. At approximately 7:20 p.m., the Marine Unit notified DPNR Marine Enforcement of the sinking vessel. Both agencies responded, with DPNR taking the lead on the rescue. Again, a good Samaritan with a small boat was able to reach all 9 of the sailboat's passengers. All 9 were placed onto DPNR's patrol boat and brought back to shore. There were no reported injuries. The sailboat remained on the reef until about 1 p.m. on Monday when it was taken to Green Key Marina. Well, the Department of Education informs the St. Croix public of the official start to the summer schools today, Wednesday, July 5th, across the district. Now, most summer school programs are from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. However, parents may contact the schools directly for specific program times. And now be sure to tune in. We will have a special segment featuring some of the summer camps across the territory. Now, one of the camps underway presently is the Great Adventure Project Life at the BCB Gymnasium, focusing on sports, music, history, and culture. On Friday, they have a huge event coming up. The students and parents will welcome a special forum and a recruitment session from a well-renowned presenter. Here's the details.
The summer camp you see here is ages 5 to 18 years of age, and we focus on speed and agility, flexibility, strength and conditioning, along with the fundamentals of basketball. Our intention is to teach our young people that in order to develop into good basketball players, you have to be disciplined, you have to work on the fundamentals, but more importantly, you got to have good character and good judgment in terms of being quality young people. The camp has been going on here at BCB for this is the 10th year anniversary, and so basically we take the kids through these fundamentals for 7 weeks. On August 10th, 2017, we'll have our showcase. We're inviting the whole public out, including if you guys can make it as well. We're going to have a showcase, so everything they've learned over the duration of the 7 weeks will be on display. So we'll show a lot of the agility, the speed, and all the plyometric stuff we've learned.
Again, we'll have some more information about an event they have coming up on Friday. We'll have more information on tomorrow's newscast. Stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
A bit wet out there today, wasn't it? Also some cloud coverage. Well, that's because a tropical wave passed through the area. It is now off to our west, causing trouble here in central Bahamas. But for us, maybe some leftover showers and clouds, but mainly drying out across many of the islands here. Maybe a couple showers left in Puerto Rico right now. 81 degrees tonight. That's our temperature. Partly cloudy skies. Now tomorrow, we're still going to see some showers left over, not as wet as it was today and not as wet as it's going to be on Friday. So St. John's 91 degrees with periods of sunshine. In St. Thomas 91 as well with periods of sun. And in St. Croix partly sunny skies with a high of 89. And again, everyone could see a shower pass through. Our marine forecast, we don't have any advisories to tell you about. On the Atlantic side, the waves are 3 to 5 feet. The winds out of the east from 10 to 15 knots. And it's the same story here for the Caribbean side. Waves 3 to 5 feet, winds out of the east 10 to 15 knots. Just be careful if you're out there on a boat or splashing around in the ocean. On Friday, we have a second tropical wave approach. With that, we are going to see an uptick in showers and also cloud coverage. Not as wet as it was today, so still some sunshine out there. Saturday, a shower in a few spots, 90 degrees, and on Sunday, same story. Now on Monday, it's going to be the driest day of the next couple of days ahead of us here with a high temperature of 90 degrees. Sandy, back to you.
Well, thanks for that. Be sure to keep the umbrella handy. We have that tropical wave to keep an eye on. Cecilia Camacho sends this beautiful picture that shows everything, some showers as well as sunshine, and looking to do some fishing. Cecilia, thank you for that picture. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen, and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around. We have News 2 Sports coming your way next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. We're talking basketball in the Virgin Islands. It's the summer of hoops, and with the Central Basket Tournament right around the corner, the games go from July 12th to July 16th, our exclusive interviews continue. We asked Virgin Islands Basketball Federation President Ronnie Richards why Clint Williams was chosen to coach the VI women's national team.
Well, Coach Williams is a local guy. He's been coaching female basketball in the U.S. in college for the past 6 to 7 years. And there's nothing better than to have one of your own on your staff that has the same passion as you and the players and the people of the Virgin Islands, that, you know, and wants to see the success of the Virgin Islands.
We then asked Coach Williams how he felt about being named coach, his expectations, and the importance of playing at home.
It's amazing. You know, it's definitely been one of my personal goals since I got into coaching about over 6-7 years ago, was to come home and, you know, help represent our country and, you know, help these young ladies out. So, you know, when Ronnie, Mr. Richards, when he gave me a call and told me that, you know, he would like me to do this, it was a no-brainer. I was like, just let me know when, and, you know, I'll be there. So definitely exciting time for myself as well as the girls, and I can't wait for it to start July 12th. Our roster is pretty much set. We have a very good balance. We're not the biggest team, but we're very fast, and we can definitely score the ball in bunches. But that's definitely going to benefit us, and I think that's definitely crucial in international play. The expectations definitely play hard to represent the Virgin Islands the best way we can and win this gold medal. It's a great opportunity. I think the last time we've hosted any kind of international competition here for basketball was 2002. So it's definitely a great opportunity to have 5 other countries come here to the territory. We got to offer both basketball and non-basketball as well. And yeah, we try to go out there and compete hard. Crowd participation and crowd support is going to be huge for us. You know, if you're in St. Croix, St. John, definitely come on over to St. Thomas. If you're here in St. Thomas, then definitely, you know, make it down to UBI and come and cheer us on. Because we know, like I said, we go to these other countries and they host, their fans come out by the thousands. And they're loud, you know, they're cheering the other teams, you know, to try to get in the other team's head. So we want to have that same kind of atmosphere here for us, having home court advantage to distract those other teams and help us, you know, bring home this gold medal.
That's right, what you said, bring home the gold. That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that update, Gary. And that is all for this edition of News 2. We'd like to thank you for joining us for all the latest in news, weather, and sports. I'm Sandra Gomansky. Have a wonderful evening.